Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a whatever public figure.
Welcome back to Delulu Diaries, where the timelines don't match, but the receipts always do. Today I want to talk about the Beck situation. I have to be honest, this is a very difficult topic for me to discuss, and so if I sound kind of extra, I don't know, sad or gravelly or whatever, I do apologize. I tried filming this twice already, and I've just decided I'm gonna do it unedited, so I apologize if I take long breaks or if my voice gets really tired. I am still 8 months pregnant, and so it's going to be a little hard for me to get through this just from a physical standpoint, but also this is a topic that is important to me, and so I just don't want to stress myself out by going over this a million times. So it's just going to be one take, and you get what you get. I hope that I can do this okay. Before we get into it, I do just want to give a trigger warning for depression and self-deletion. If those are topics that you are, triggered by, I just want to say maybe this video is not the one for you. I am not going to be talking about anybody actually going through with the act of self-deletion, and I apologize for having to say it like that, but I have to play by YouTube's rules. I just want to make sure you know that that topic is going to be brought up. Okay, so Beck made 2 community page posts, and I want to go ahead and run through them real quick. The first one says, "Survived. I'm alone. I have no friends. I cut everyone off. I don't have anything left to offer anyone anymore. Not friends, not YouTube. I'm sorry to let everyone down. It's not just you all. I've lost everyone, and it's my fault. My content was crap anyway. I know, and I'm sorry for it being subpar. I'm sorry for even wasting your time here reading this. I'm going to go dark for I don't know how long. I'm so sorry. It's all good. Don't take what you have for granted and cherish every second, because you will regret it when it's all gone and you're practically alone. Thank you to all who have supported me. It meant a lot, and I'm very sorry for disappointing you all. Homelessness and couch surfing isn't how I thought my life would be this year. Maybe someday I can come back." They posted a second post. It's very similar, so it's going to sound like I'm reading the same message, but it does have slight differences, so I just want to throw this in there. So their second message says, "The truth is, I'm bitter I survived. I'm alone. I have no friends. I cut everyone off. I don't have anything left to offer anyone anymore. No friends, not YouTube. I'm sorry to let everyone down. It's not just you all. I've lost everyone, and it's my fault. My content was crap anyways. I know, and I'm sorry for it being subpar. I'm sorry for even wasting your time here reading this. I'm going to go dark for I don't know how long. I'm so sorry. It's all good. Don't take what you have for granted and cherish every second, because you will regret it when it's all gone and you're practically alone. Thank you to all who supported me. It meant a lot, and I'm so sorry for disappointing you all." Okay, so I don't know what the exact situation was between Beck and Beck's fiance, but it sounds like they must be split up if Beck is saying that they are completely alone and they, cut everyone off. The details that I do know, in case you are also uninformed, is just that Beck's fiance was inappropriately talking to minors at one point. I watched the beginning of Alex's Shook's video on this to kind of get an idea of what was going on with that situation, and he had said that Beck's fiance was basically like rating minors on a scale of 1 to 10 based on their appearance, just like Onision had used to do, and he kind of implied that there was more to it than that, but that's all I know, so that's all I'm going to say on that. But it sounds like Beck has probably gotten rid of that connection as well as any friends that they had, and I'm not sure what their situation with their family is like at this time. I know that that has always been a little bit rocky on and off, so it sounds like that's probably the situation. The main thing I want to say is that I do feel like I don't want to pile on to Beck feeling bad and like they didn't do enough. But I do feel like Beck had a responsibility to make sure that it was evident in their message that they were not going to take any action regarding these messages in terms of like harming themselves. And I wish that they would have done a better job at letting us know what their headspace was, because these are very dark posts. I myself have gone through a very serious depressive state. And I'm not talking about just being sad and laying in bed for a couple of days, because I know people like to say that influencers always call everything depression. I'm talking, I had to literally pick my life up and move across the country to come back to be with my parents because like I could not handle it. So I am familiar with these kinds of feelings about feeling like you have nobody and that your life is just shit and you don't know how you got there and it's not what you wanted and all of that. And so I would have preferred if Beck had at least given some glimmer of hope. Saying that they're going to go dark and not be around for a very long time is highly concerning. I don't feel good about these messages that they left, which, not that it's Beck's, responsibility to make me feel good, but I'm just saying it would have been nice to have something just to solidify that they have a plan that they're going to work on. That being said, they did say maybe someday I can come back, which gives like a little nod to the fact that they're not planning on taking any action. But that was just my main thought that I wanted to get out regarding this. Now, not regarding Beck, but just for the greater, audience listening to this, I will say if you do find yourself feeling similar to how Beck is feeling, there are so many things you can do. I know that it feels hopeless, but if you lose all of your friends and family because you cut everybody off and you don't talk to them for months, I can promise you, you can either rebuild those connections or you can find new connections. You don't have to be alone forever. There are things you can do. In my own personal case, I can tell you that I did not even feel like I was in a headspace where I could find a therapist at the time. And so I literally just made an appointment. I think it was with my hospital because I don't think I had a general practitioner at that time. I made an appointment with the hospital just to be seen. They evaluated me. They gave me a medication to help ease my depression and anxiety. And then they referred me out to a psychologist. So I didn't have to do any research. They gave me a referral. It was super duper easy. I started going to these appointments. And of course, it did not work right away. But at the end of I want to say a month, I was truly feeling so much better. And so, I just want to say for people who are afraid of, talking to a professional about this or taking medications, it can be really helpful. I know that there is a lot of talk about therapists being very expensive and not helping or needing to find the right therapist. If you are in a position where it is extraordinarily dark for you, I honestly recommend going the route of somebody who can prescribe a medication. I have seen a bunch of different therapists. I've done a lot of therapy, and I will say that the psychiatrist I saw was very quick and efficient at helping me. They do charge more, but there is no amount of money that is too much to get your life back on track. Genuinely, I believe that because in my own personal case, I felt like if I had not seen the psychiatrist, I probably would not be here today. And so even if I had needed to take out thousands of dollars of debt, which was not the case, it was much more affordable than I thought it was going to be, even though I did not have insurance at that time. Even if I had to take out debt, that's better than not being here. So I just want to make that clear. Also, for anybody who feels like they are heading down a spiraling path and that they need help, but they don't want to take a medication because they still want to feel like themselves, I will say that in my personal case, I did take medication. I never felt any of those effects where I felt like I was zombied out or not myself or anything. I felt 100% like myself, just not with the crushing anxiety and depression. So I think medication can get a bad rap, but it doesn't have to be forever in every case. In my case, I was able to get off of it. And B, even if it is something that you're recommended to be on forever, a doctor can work with you to find something that works for you and doesn't make you feel terrible. So I just wanted to put that out there to give a glimmer of hope to anybody who is having similar feelings to what Beck has posted about. Also, I want to say, my life now is so much better than the time that I had my serious bout of depression. I honestly don't remember how long it lasted because I kind of blacked that portion of my life out. But I know it was at least 3 months, if not 6 months. And I am so grateful that I did not make any permanent decisions in that period of my life because I am so different from the person that I was then. Everything is different. I live in a different state. I am significantly closer to my friends and family. I have a husband that treats me so well. I was in a very bad marriage before my current marriage. Yes, I am divorced. Amber, you can come for me for that. But my new marriage, I love Mr. Delulu so much. I never knew that I deserved this level of love and care. I have a beautiful child that I love very much. I was always planning on having at least 2 kids, potentially 3. And so, this is something that we very much planned for. And I have the second baby on the way right now. And I just genuinely am so glad to be here. I mean, I could not have predicted that my life would look as good as it does right now. And so for anybody who is going through a dark time, just know that it really can get better. All it takes is a little bit of work on your part to help yourself, which I know feels insurmountable at times, but genuinely, all I really did was go to the doctor and follow up on the appointment that they assigned for me, and that was all it took to get my life back on track. So, I hope that gives you guys some hope. I'm not trying to sound like I'm bragging or anything like that at all. It's just, I wish that I would have had somebody with this kind of messaging when I was going through it, because I really did feel like I was at the end of the line. So anyways, I don't really want to harp on about this point too much, because it is a difficult time for me to think about in my life, but I just don't like when there is stigma around it. So I just wanted to be clear. I know that this is technically still girl world or whatever, and some people are just going to be brushing it off or saying the things that you have to say when somebody posts something like this. But I did just want to give a little personal note there that I do genuinely care about this outside of girl world, because I do think that we have a lot of people that are experiencing extreme anxiety and depression in this day and age. And so I just felt like it was my responsibility to share my story and let you guys know that it is possible to make it through. For Beck, I hope that they understand that as well, and that they're able to get back up on their feet and, have the kind of life that they would like to have. That being said, as I said, I understand this is girl world. I understand what the comments are going to look like. I understand that there are going to be people who, while sympathetic to Beck's feelings, do feel like Beck could have done more to avoid this situation. And I'm going to keep my personal thoughts on that pretty limited in this video. But I would just ask that if you're going to share any comments that are critical about Beck, if you could try to be respectful in the way that you phrase them, especially with the nicknames. I know a lot of people do not call Beck Beck. They call Beck nicknames that are a little bit mean-spirited, and usually I don't mind that, because I understand that this is girl world. Everybody's going to talk how they want to talk. But I would just ask that, out of respect for Beck's mental state at this time, just in case they or anybody in their sphere comes across this video, if we could just at least not do the nicknames, I would really, really appreciate that. And if you guys made it this far, you already know. Stay Delulu, but not that Delulu. And I'll catch you in the next one.